Hey guys, new drums here. Today I'm going to be putting a Decal logo, non-standard, on a bass drum resonant skin. And I also am going to be cutting and installing bass drum hole with a bass drum support hoop. So let's talk about some of the reasons why you might want to port a bass drum head. One, it makes it very easy to get a microphone into your bass drum and record a very clear and distinct and punchy bass drum noise. Number two, it allows you to get your hand in there and adjust any internal muffling that you might have in the drum. What I have here is a Remo Fiberskin 3 Ambassador resonant side head. These make really good heads because they're quite bright and similar to a coated Ambassador, but they have this kind of added aesthetic that they just look really nice, and they were all the rage a few years ago, and I still see drummers use these because they just look super snazzy. I'm going to be installing a aftermarket logo onto this resonant side skin. So in order to line this thing up correctly, I've already gone ahead and made some pencil marks. Now, I am using the logo. I know that this is straight in terms of the edge. Using the logo as my guide, coming down on either side of the logo by 1 centimeter. And this will allow me to make a straight line. I already have 2 small pencil marks. And then once you have that straight edge, what you're going to want to do is center your logo. You can do that just with a ruler, roughly 42 millimeters on either side. So now that I've got that set up, right where I want it, I went ahead and in advance, I marked off the corners here. And then this logo decal is almost ready to go. Before you do anything, I want you to double check and make sure that your drum head is clean and it's free of dust. You don't want this sitting high up on a shelf or in storage for some time and then do this right away, because any kind of dust will interfere with the adhesive. So that's a no-no. You want to make sure that this is clean. Once we lined up our logo just the way that we want it, peel back this adhesive strip and place it on the head. So since there's a lot of like small detail and stuff, you just want to kind of really work your way slowly. You really don't want to touch that black stuff. Sometimes it helps to just go down flat on a surface like this. Okay, you see how that M down there, the kind of edge of the M is coming up with the white paper. You just stick it back down, push it back down onto your kind of your thinner paper, and there we go. Now, you don't touch this part. This is why we made our pencil marks. We're going to line it up nice and perfect.
Hey guys, Nolan from the future here. I thought I would chime in momentarily and just let you know that sometimes bass drum decals come in this kind of split paper design. As you can see here, half of the backing paper is easily accessible. What I did was tape down one side of the bass drum decal to hold it in place. This is a little bit more idiot proof and allows you to get a little bit easier placement. With one half stuck down, you can remove the masking tape holding the decal in place, and then you repeat the process on the other side.
Pull back. Anything comes up, just like that, but just go ahead. Go over that one more time. I think the secret really is just to take your time. You don't want to just rip this off, because once this is on properly, unless you like intentionally go at it with your fingernail or catch it really weirdly with a knife or something, it's almost impossible to take off. I got this from eBay, and there's a lot of really high quality decals for logos. You can find every single brand, you know, if you just look, search bass drum logo or decal. There.
So let's have a look at that one more time. We're going to peel the backing paper off at a steep angle, ensuring that the decal itself doesn't lose contact with the bass drum head. If at any point it does this, all you have to do is stick it back down using the paper as a kind of medium, and you should be okay. As you can see here, I'm just pulling with a very smooth, slow, confident motion. If you're lucky, the decal itself will stick just to the drum head, and it'll be smooth sailing from here on out. Like I said, all it is patience and persistence. You'll do just fine.
Part 2 is putting on this bass drum porthole protector thing. By all means, you don't need one of these, strictly speaking. You can cut a bass drum hole on the fly. Heated can method, you can cut it with an X-Acto knife, using a CD as a template. Essentially, if you have any round template, you can get away with it and you will make a porthole. The problem is, and in my experience, the reason that I stick to these guards here, the reason that I do that is because I found that the edge of the hole that you create in that circumstance is really prone to splitting and tearing. These guys here, they come with basically have two pieces, right? You have a front side, which is smooth and pretty, and you have a back side that clips in. So this is slightly smaller, and when you snap it into place, so it does a really good job of ensuring that the edges don't tear. When it comes to bass drum mic hole alignment, there's a little bit of flexibility. The Drum Tuning Bible is a great resource, and they talk in depth about exactly where the optimal position is, and it's around about 4 o'clock. The more central you have it, the less resonance you're going to have. You're going to get a much punchier, focused attack. But off to the side here, you still have control over that resonance. So I can get both of these sounds from placing my mic here. Another thing you want to avoid, don't put it right on the edge like that. It's just not going to work. So you need to have at least maybe like an inch or two. I have it at around about 2.5 inches. Once I think I've got it right, I go around the whole thing and I trace out this hole. So I like to just kind of go around it several times, make sure that I have a good mark, a good circle. Next thing you're going to need is a really sharp X-Acto knife, or in this case a carpenter's knife. But essentially what I do is I'm going to trace out this hole. If this is blunt, it's going to make your job a lot harder. Insert my blade into here, and I'm just going to work my way slowly along this trace. Okay, we're almost done here. So as you come close to the edge here, you just want to kind of meet up with your original cut. Save these, by the way. They make really good bass drum beater patches. Pro tip for you. So now what we're going to do, any place that we have like a little nub like that, we're just going to take our knife, take care of that. So once we're pretty happy with our edge, and in our case it fits really well, there's a little bit of play, but as you're going to see in a moment, that won't matter. Try to center this as best as we can. As long as it's not really big, it won't matter whatsoever. Get an idea where the center is going to be, and then we're going to be ready to stick the front side on. Much like the decal, try not to touch the adhesive. The strongest stick is going to be the first thing it touches. So I'm going to stick that down. Alright, there we go. Second part, all we got to do now is peel off the backing, and we're going to stick this down. You might be surprised as to how much force you do need to apply to this to get the ring to stick. Sometimes you get lucky and you don't have to force it too hard. Other times it can be a real nightmare. But if you just start on one edge like that and work your way around, sooner or later it pops right in, but other times it can be a little bit of a nightmare. It was proving really difficult to get this ring to snap, but I found the easiest way to do that is with a flat edge screwdriver. You just work your way around the circle and push down, forcing the lip underneath the first ring. And then you're going to hear it snap into place. Alright, so now the bass drum is finally complete. The porthole is secure and adhered to both sides of the skin. The plastic lock and adhesion is going to prevent that skin from tearing, and it will last for years. Plus, we now have a straight, level, shiny new decal to flaunt on our bass drum rezo. Thanks so much for watching. If you've learned something, leave me a like. And if you want to see some more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks very much.